everyone. Thank you for coming and for joining us today for the Puente celebration. We are going to be celebrating our students, our mentors, and our graduating students. We have 11 graduates, and they will be going to various universities around the Bay Area and Southern California. And we also have graduates who are getting degrees from De Anza. We are also honoring our first-year Puentistas who have completed their first year in college and who have completed Puente. And we have 30 mentors who we also want to honor and say thank you and show our gratitude for all that they've done this year as volunteers. Hola, buenas tardes. Yo me llamo Lili, soy la consejera de Puente en De Anza College y estamos aquí para celebrar nuestros estudiantes, nuestros mentores en la comunidad. Tenemos 11 estudiantes que ya se van a ir, ya se van a graduar y ir a la universidad. Y también estamos aquí para celebrar los estudiantes que apenas empezaron, ya terminaron su primer año en Puente y ya no van a estar en Puente el siguiente año. Y también tenemos 30 mentores que son voluntarios de Puente y son ya pues personas que ya están trabajando, ya tienen sus títulos y son como guías para estos estudiantes que ya terminaron el primer año de estar en Puente. Gracias por estar aquí.
Hola, De Anza College Puente students. I'm Judy Miner, Chancellor of the Foothill De Anza Community College District, and I just wanted to say congratulations on achieving so much in the Puente program. I wish you all the very best, and on behalf of our entire district, congratulations.
Now it's time to meet our amazing cohort of 2019-20 Puente students. Every year, the Puente class votes on the top males and females of the class who they think most represent Puente's values. For example, it could be a student who has done the best academically. It could be a student who has gone out of their way to make everyone feel included. It could be a student who has gone through and shown the most resilience. Two of our winners are Natalie Basilio and Diego Zamora. They will be sharing some of their thoughts with us tonight. Thank you.
Buenas tardes a todos. Quisiera comenzar este discurso dándole gracias por estar aquí con su estudiante y con nosotros. Esta noche no es tan solo para reconocer a sus estudiantes, sino también para celebrar todo lo que han logrado como una familia. Una profesora que tuvimos al primer semestre al comenzar del año nos dijo: nosotros como estudiantes latinos no solo entramos a una clase solos, sino entramos con nuestros antepasados detrás de nosotros. Y bueno, debemos de reconocer esa realización para saber qué importante es este momento. Yo entré a De Anza sin el conocimiento de qué sería esta nueva etapa en el colegio, porque mis padres no tuvieron las mismas oportunidades que yo tuve. Ellos no estudiaron ni se recibieron, porque ellos se dedicaron a cuidar de mí y mi hermano y asegurarse que lográramos lo que ellos no pudieron. Así que yo supe que tendría que empezar el colegio sin los recursos que muchos estudiantes sí tienen. Lo que no supe es que tendría la ayuda que ocupaba, y ese sería Puente. Dentro de este programa yo florecí como estudiante. Tuve la oportunidad de hablar en clase, dar mi opinión y hacer nuevos amigos como Yael, Juan, Samuel y muchos más. Bueno, debería decir que formamos mucho más que amistades, formamos una familia. Todos mis compañeros de clase fueron la razón por cual formé la confianza de prestarme ayuda dentro y fuera de la clase. Ellos siempre se aseguraban de que yo estuviera bien y en turno yo cuidaba de ellos también. Sin ellos este programa no habría tenido el mismo impacto que lo hace y seguirá teniendo sobre mí. Y bueno, ¿quién se pudiera olvidar de las profesoras que nos ayudaron durante todo nuestro primer año del colegio? Ellas son las verdaderas heroínas de este cuento. La profesora de inglés, Lydia, y la consejera escolar, Liliana, fueron muy amables en ayudarnos con nuestras tareas, nuestras crisis, y estuvieron ahí cuando solo ocupábamos a alguien con quien hablar. Ellas dieron su tiempo para asegurarse que tuviéramos todo lo que ocupamos para seguir adelante, y por eso les decimos gracias. Lily and Lydia, I'm sure you understood that last paragraph. I just wanted to make sure. Thank you for always being there for us when we needed your help, whether it was with homework or a personal crisis or just someone to talk to. Without you two, Puente would not be the same. We appreciate all your dedication to us as students and incoming freshmen, to making sure we took the advantage of all the resources that were available to us. And although sometimes things weren't always smooth sailing, we knew you had our backs. So thank you. Bueno, con eso quisiera terminar mi discurso dándole gracias a ustedes, los estudiantes, porque ustedes también son los héroes de esta historia. Sé que muchos de ustedes van a seguir adelante como doctoras que salvarán al mundo, o políticas que harán un país justo y seguro para todas las razas. O tal vez serán el próximo ingeniero que crea nueva tecnología, algo mejor que el iPhone. Sea lo que sea, les deseo lo mejor. Y recuerden lo que dijo Angie, cuando entren a su profesión, ¿qué harán ustedes para darles para atrás a la comunidad? No tan solo cambiar el mundo. Felicidades, Puente Class of 2020. May your future hold nothing but greatness. Love y'all.
Hello, everybody. I'm Diego Zamora, and it's truly an honor to be one of the speakers tonight. I just want to start off by saying congratulations to this year's graduates who are part of Puente. I wish you guys the best of luck on all your future endeavors. You are all resilient, intelligent, and the future. It's quite unfortunate that we all couldn't be together to celebrate this milestone in person. However, in a couple years from now, look back and laugh at the fact of how we celebrated. This year, to say the least, has been wild. We all thought we were about to enter World War III. We lost just not a sports icon, but a true humanitarian in Kobe Bryant. COVID-19 has also altered everyone's lifestyle dramatically in one way or another. And right now, as we speak, people all over the world are standing up against oppression that existed not only in our country, but all over the world for far too long. And by the way, it's only June. And through it all, we're here to celebrate your accomplishments. I say you are resilient because of the obstacles you had to overcome, struggles you had to face, and adversity that at the time seemed unbearable, but through it all, you prevailed, and for that, I congratulate you. You will carry these traits and continue to overcome whatever gets in your way. I say you are intelligent, not only for the knowledge you've accumulated over the years, but rather for how you're going to use that knowledge to impact others. I say you are the future because how you're going to make this world a better place, and how your success is going to inspire others. You see, right now the world is changing fast and for the better. People all over the world are trying to make this world a better place. And I just want to say, you going to school and getting that degree, that's making the world a better place. Because no matter what you say, Black and Latinx people aren't supposed to make it this far in the academic journey. Yet, here you are. Finally, I just want to end by saying Puente has not only given me another family, but a great foundation to build upon in terms of being a better student and a better person. Both Liliana and Lydia have made the transition to high school to college much easier than it was for a lot of people. And for that, us Puentistas are forever thankful. And lastly, I just want to say that I can't wait to see everybody again, and stay safe.
Thank you for those nice words, Natalie and Diego. Now it's time to recognize individually each student from this year's cohort. In the slideshow that you are about to see, you will see a group of words that the students use to describe each other. The students actually haven't seen these groups of words. They don't know what each other has said about them. But I'm talking now directly to the students. I hope you see just how much of an impact you have on each other. Enjoy. Natalie Basilio. Dulce Panuelos. Samuel Canales Jr. Rafael Ruffles Carrasco. Dulce Ceballos. Noel Duval. Mark Espinosa. José Gutierrez. Alexandra Hernandez Salazar. Yael Jiménez. Juan Lara. Esme Martínez. Mario Martinez. Laisha Munoz. Lupita Ordóñez. Sofía Palmeri. Omar Pedrosa Iturbe. Amara Perez. Ale Pérez Cabrera. Gustavo Ramos. Jessica Rios. Marisol Soto Luna. Israel Torres Diaz. Leslie Torres. Arnold Valle Ibarra. Marlene Villanueva. Diego Zamora.
To the current Puente class, it's been an intense year to say the least, but you've all only inspired me to push forward and to keep going through this year because of all of your resiliency. Thank you for being open since day one. When Summer Bridge ended, you all had already created a group chat for one another without me even saying anything. Quite frankly, you all were doing my job for me. You were all uplifting each other, rooting for each other, and once school started, you all began to remind each other of mine and Lydia's homework assignments. But that's the beauty of Puente, community. I hope we understand community as I once explained it in class. We don't all have to be best friends or even see eye to eye, but we all have mutual respect for one another. As we look into the world today and watch the fight for Black lives, I hope you are able to see yourself within them. Our goal in Puente was to teach you about your identity, to be proud, and ultimately love yourself and where you come from. In the end, our hope is for all of you to love yourselves so hard that you are able to look outward and see the struggles of other groups and be in unity with them. Specifically for Black and brown bodies, we were never taught how interconnected our liberation really is. I'll leave you with our poem we used to recite in fall quarter, and I hope it relates to today's events and you're able to recognize why we did it. Tú eres mi otro yo. You are my other me. Si te hago daño a ti, if I do harm to you, me hago daño a mí mismo. I do harm to myself. Si te amo y respeto, if I love and respect you, me amo y respeto yo. I love and respect myself.
I'm so excited that we could come together virtually to celebrate this year's group of Puentistas. I want to start off by saying how much I admired this year's group of students. Attending college, working over 20 to 60 hours a week, taking care of family obligations, trying to maintain good mental and physical health are difficult as it is. But the conditions that these students have faced this year are unprecedented. Not only did they face a new format for their English writing classes due to state mandates, but like the rest of us, they also encountered the emergency situation of having to move all onto online learning as a delivery mode. Add to that the health precautions everyone had to take due to COVID-19, as well as the often hostile political climate, which we are seeing manifested in the recent riots due to police brutality and other overt racism. And it's almost impossible to imagine how these students made it through with all these things. How they did was through resilience, hard work, and community. Sometimes students felt that they might not have been successful this year because they didn't earn a specific GPA or get a certain grade on an exam or paper. However, Puente is much more than just performing well on an assignment. Puente is about growth, support, community, resilience, and learning. Sometimes the most important learning that happens can't always be measured by GPA. I have witnessed so many different types of learning in this year's cohort, whether it's learning about political activism, learning how to voice one's thoughts without fear or judgment, learning how to approach others for help, learning how to accept oneself and love oneself. Each student here has grown to in some fashion, and should be proud. Lily and I sure are proud of you. The other day during our Zoom session in class, we discussed the problems that our nation has been witnessing recently, and we discussed how we were feeling. I know that the state of our nation can often bring anxiety and stress, but what we need to hold on to is hope. You are not just our future. Yes, you are our future, but you are also our now. You are the generation who will change the world, but that isn't something that you will wait to start doing in the future. It's something you have already started to do. For example, among you we have people who take care of other siblings, who do the electrical wiring for our houses and business, who day trade, who are artists, who are environmental activists, who work with kids and are role models to them, who are the main breadwinners for their family, who are the translators for their family, who have been working since the age of 8 or 9, who do our hair and makeup to help us look good. And don't we miss them right about now, while we have to stay at home and can't go to barbershops or beauty salons, who encourage others who don't feel they can continue on, and so much more. You can see from the words that your fellow Puentistas used to describe you in the slideshow how much of an impact you have had on others. You have certainly had an impact on both me and Lily, and we are so privileged that you have been a part of Puente this year. Thank you.
At this point, we're going to honor all of our mentors who have contributed endless amount of hours to our students who have volunteered and have shown up to support them and be with them throughout all of our events. You've made all of our events so fun and so vibrant and have only brought in good vibes. So we appreciate you so much. Our program would not be as successful if it wasn't for all of you.
Before we move on to recognizing our graduating Puentistas, I want to take a moment to thank one more person who has been a mentor in her own right. The Puente program has been so privileged this year to have Liliana Rivera as our new counselor. She has led and counseled students with grace, compassion, and wisdom. Even though she might even be young enough to be my daughter, or maybe it's just that I'm old enough to be her mother, she has taught me so much about kindness and humility. If we were here in person together, I would give her a large bouquet of flowers and a big hug to express the appreciation that not only I have for her, but all of the Puentistas have for her as well. Thank you so much, Lily.
To the Puente graduates. First, I also want to thank you for trusting me and allowing me to be part of your transition from community college to four-year university. I was a complete stranger to you all. We didn't have connections through the classroom, so I thank you for accepting the help that you got. I do recognize that I may not have been the perfect counselor or educator because I was learning with you all, the new systems at De Anza, but I didn't ever strive to be perfect because there's always something to learn in life. I hope by seeing my imperfections, you are able to envision yourselves in your most wildest dreams, whether it be in STEM, education, health, media, whatever it is that you're going into. I hope you saw me as, oh, if she can do it, then I can do it too. As you engage in your last Puente event, I want you to think about this question. I can't answer this question for you, but I want you to think about it. Think back to the first day of class in Puente years ago when you had it. You all were strangers. You might have not understood why we did certain activities or had certain events with you all, but I hope one thing that you know now is that you are loved and each of you have a spot in Puente. I hope Puente taught you to be more confident as a student, that you matter, that we saw you, and that you became more aware of social issues within our communities. With that being said, Puente has created what I call a warm blanket for all of you, whether you realize it or not. Warm blanket meaning safety, security, sense of community. My question to you is, how are we going to keep this warm blanket as you continue to go to a four-year institution without physically having us there? Or having Puente, your friends, not just me and Lydia, but the friendships that you've built, the community that you've built at De Anza. How are we going to walk into those classrooms at the four-year by being the students you are today and not reverting back to those students that you were at day one, and also continuing to evolve? I know you all give us credit as a program, Puente. I read all of your slides, but at the end of the day, it was all you. Give yourselves credit. We just gave you Puente love. So when you do walk into your next institution, walk in confidence and the knowledge that while we know educational systems may not be built for us, you know that you're doing it not only just for yourself, but your family, your siblings, your Puente familia, and your community at large. Much bigger than yourself. Congratulations.
In the past, whenever I have attended a graduation ceremony or celebration, I've always wondered why it's called a commencement. To commence is to begin something, but to me, graduation always felt like an end of something. Over the years, I have come to realize that graduation is neither a beginning nor an end. Instead, it is a moment that merges your past, present, and future together. In deciding what I wanted to say to the graduating Puentistas this evening, I decided to go back and read some of the papers that they wrote in our English classes. As I did so, I was struck by how their words told the story of what I wanted to say tonight and what I should say tonight. Some of them might not even remember what they wrote, but you will see how powerful their writing and thoughts are. One student wrote during the first quarter of college, "A voice in my head kept telling me how much of a failure I was, and I completely gave into it." Another student wrote, "It was at this point that I possessed a certain mentality that I simply couldn't do it, and I would feel no motivation to push through my problems and figure out a solution." And yet another student said, "I may even consider myself a disappointment in more than one way." Many of our Puente students enter college with these thoughts in their heads because they have been told by previous teachers, counselors, classmates, society, media, that they aren't going to amount to anything. These Puentistas found themselves believing these lies early in their lives. One student describes the fear of attending college. "I am the only one attending college out of my friends, and with no friends along with being the first in my family to go to college, I was fearful. But these words and thoughts are from their pasts. Here today, they have proven that it is possible to overcome those doubts, and they have proven those negative voices wrong. Many of them found motivation through their families and loved ones. For example, one student said, "In my life, I know I wouldn't be who I am today if it weren't for those who loved me along the way." Another student said, "I was put in a position to do better than my parents did, so it can't be wasted." And yet another student said, "I have been fortunate enough to have such a caring mom who would rather break her back than see us sad. I hope I continue to grow as a person and continue to keep gaining all those traits that she has. I want to be as great as she is." What you see here tonight are not the pasts of these students, but their presents. They are here tonight to show you that you don't have to let your past dictate who you are today. In fact, a couple of years ago, one student wrote, "I keep dreaming of the day that I will receive a congratulations rather than a thank you for applying to our college," which is why I do not listen to that little voice inside my head anymore telling me I am a failure. And guess what? He did get into the school of his choice. As these students look to their futures, the words of these students ring true. As one Puentista said, "I can be anything I want to be in life as long as I put my mind to it." Another one said, "I want to be the change you see in the world, even if it starts with a small one. I want people to look at me and see someone who was able to go through the journey of learning to love themselves." And finally, another student wrote, "When I receive my degree, I am going to examine my life and see how it led me to the person I became. I believe the tough times have made me stronger, and therefore I'm more ready to accept the challenges that I'll face ahead." So you see, their own words tell the story of how they got here and where they are going. I am so proud of these students, not only for what they have accomplished academically, but for learning to believe in themselves and not let anyone or anything stop them from achieving their goals. Congratulations, graduates. Thank you for being a part of all of our lives. I have been so privileged to have known you, and I hope you stay in touch with us. Let's give them all a round of applause. So without further ado, here are the graduating Puentistas of 2020.
I said it before and I'll say it again. Puente made my journey at De Anza easy but yet unforgettable. Puente gave me the opportunity to create new friendships along the way while helping me find myself throughout the process. And for that, I thank them. I also like to thank my family, especially my parents and sister who always stood by my side.
The Puente project has given me the opportunity to attend the university of my dreams, UC Berkeley, which I thought was impossible coming out of high school. Their profound amount of support and confidence in me allowed me to succeed, and I could not picture going through De Anza without the Puente project. I want to thank my family for always believing in me, even in the times I didn't believe in myself. For my parents working long hours every day in order to provide me with everything I need and then some. For my older sister for being my role model, I will always look up to you, Mitya. And for my younger brother who pushes me to be a better version of myself every day so I can be to him what my older sister is to me. Los amo muchísimo. Sin ustedes yo no fuera el hombre que soy hoy. Todo lo que he logrado y lograré es gracias a ustedes.
What is up? Hi, my class of 2020. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to have someone stash me or record me, so I have to do it this way. I hope you guys can bear with me, but I am Jamie Gerardo. I have been with Puente for 4 years, and I am transferring to Sacramento State, and I'm majoring in Administration of Justice. I cannot be more grateful for Puente and the people I have met along the way, for the relationships I've built with teachers and counselors. They actually seen me and all of us students as people and not just as some random kids. So I love that about Puente. I also want to say thank you to Lydia. Lydia, you know you have a special place in my heart. I don't think I could really have done this without you or even gone to Sacramento State, because you and Lily both pushed me to go to Sacramento State. It is a change that I need for myself, and it's something that I feel is needed after everything I've gone through after losing my mom in 2018. And that's also part of the reason why I was at De Anza for 4 years, is because the loss of my mom and my sister, both in 1 year. So I want to thank everybody and Puente, the SSRS, Alicia, Jorge, everybody for just making the SSRS and Puente a home for me when I lost my home. And I cannot wait to see what more there is for me, because this is just the start of it. And thank you, Puente, for having such an impact in my life.
Congratulations, honey. I'm very proud of you. So I want to thank Puente for guiding me and showing me where to go for this college journey at De Anza. I know coming in I did not have a clue what I wanted to do, so I just want to thank you guys for showing me which way to go. For Lydia, I really want to thank you for showing me and encouraging me along this entire path at De Anza. I love you, and I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything you did for me. I will never forget it, and I just thank you so much. I thank Lily for guiding me and showing me the college path too, for answering all of my questions when I was confused. She showed me, and I'm just so happy to say that I'm transferring to my dream university, Pepperdine. So I know I could not have done it without you guys, and I just want to thank Puente for guiding me and showing me everything, and for bringing me lifelong friends. I know just that will last a lifetime. Thank you guys so much. I love you. Thank you, Puente.
First and foremost, I would like to thank God for allowing me to reach this accomplishment. I would also like to thank my Puente instructor Lydia and Julie, and Puente counselor Yolanda, Liliana, as well as Jesus for Men of Color, along with my Aunt Andrea and my cousin Michaela for being the ones to recommend Puente to me. Here's to 2020. UC Santa Cruz, here I come. Si se puede.
One of the values we embrace in the Puente program is familia. So we would like to invite 2 students from this year's cohort to talk about the impact the graduating students have had on them. Just like Natalie and Diego earlier, these 2 students were voted the tops of their class by their classmates. I would like to welcome Ale Perez Cabrera and Mario Martinez to share what the graduating class impact has been on them. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here. I have a few words I would like to share with the graduating Puentistas. All of you here today have exhibited a great deal of fortitude. Every experience, positive or negative, you have encountered was to serve a greater purpose. Choosing to pursue higher education and obtain your degrees while overcoming all odds is admirable and no easy task. All those sleepless nights, hungry hours, moments of exhaustion and frustration have brought you here today. So if you ever need motivation, look back at these moments because you are exactly where you need to be. Things might not always be perfect because that's just the way life is, but eventually everything will fall into place. So be patient and trust the timing. Becoming our future educators, doctors, lawyers, scientists makes me hopeful for a future where you will all serve as an advocate for change in your communities and continue to fight for what you believe in. You are truly an inspiration to your communities, your families, and your fellow Puentistas as you continue to pave the way for generations to come. Remember, there are beautiful things inside of you, so always speak your truth. Remain genuine and remember where you come from. I wish you the courage to speak up when you feel shut down. I wish you the energy to keep going when you feel you have nothing left to give. And I wish you the conviction to stand up when you know something is not right. Your dedication, your hard work, and your resiliency brought you here and will continue to move you forward as you evolve, make waves, and change the world. Thank you and congratulations.
Hi everybody, I would like to take a couple of minutes to congratulate all the students that are graduating from De Anza, all the Puente students. First I want to say I want to congratulate all of the students that will be graduating from De Anza. I'm sure it wasn't easy, especially if you had to work or study at the same time. I also know there is many struggles when starting community college. For example, you have to deal with family and friends. So you should be very happy to be given the opportunity to complete college. You could also see this achievement as a halfway mark into reaching a bachelor's degree. At final, I want to thank all of you for your leadership and for all the help you guys have provided for us. I am happy for all of you and wish you guys the best. Thank you.
Now we come to one of the most fun parts of the evening. We get to give out money. First, I want to thank our Dean of Equity and Engagement, Alicia Cortez, and her family for their generous donations. Over the past few years, her family annually contributes thousands of dollars to the Puente Transfer Scholarship in honor of their mother. This year, we were able to award several scholarships thanks to their generous donation of $3,000. Let's give her and her family some applause. Let's begin with the $500 scholarship awards. This student is such a warm and steady presence in the lives of anyone who meets her. She always greets people with a smile, and during her first year in Puente, everyone flocked to her house to hang out and form a community. Even when some of the students in the class weren't getting along at the moment, because that does happen even though we are familia, one of the only people that seem to be loved by all is this student. The student wrote in her application how she appreciates former fellow Puentistas who would buy her lunch on days she couldn't afford it, or give her a ride when she lived in the opposite direction. While this is a testimony to their friendship and generosity, it also shows how much they wanted to show her the warmth and the love that she showed them all. She will be attending San Jose State University studying psychology in the fall. Congratulations to Gabriela Moreno, Gabby, for winning a $500 scholarship. Not only is she an amazing student, but she is an amazing person.
The next $500 scholarship goes to a student who has always shown gratitude for our program and the services that it offers. She's the first one to respond to any of my emails related to transfer, related to Puente, related to this graduation. And she always responded with such excitement, and even when she walked into our doors, she always has this bubbly personality. She wrote in her scholarship essay about being fascinated by women's health and wanting to help others in the medical field. This scholarship goes to Sierra. She'll be transferring to Pepperdine University, and she will be majoring in sociology. This next scholarship goes to our Puente tutor, who has been tutoring English for the past year for us. She has always exemplified true leadership with such tenderness and grace. She has always shown openness and has welcomed each and every one of our current Puentistas, all while balancing 20 units throughout this whole entire academic year. In her scholarship, she writes about amplifying voices of younger Latinx girls and women through the media. This scholarship goes to Dayanara. She'll be transferring to UC Berkeley and majoring in media studies.
Next, we will be awarding two $1,000 scholarships, and as was the case with previous scholarship recipients, these two are well deserving of these awards. The first scholarship goes to a student who is looked to as a leader by everyone he meets. Over the past couple of years, whenever something needed to be done, people would say, "Oh, go to him. He'll do it. He'll get it done, and you won't even have to worry about it." Time and time again, this student was top of his class, writing the top papers, voicing the most intelligent comments during discussion, leading his group in group projects. You would think that with being so smart and being so talented, that he would be a little bit arrogant, but not at all. Oh, don't get me wrong, he's still got a little swag, but he is one of the most humble and empathetic people you will ever meet. A few months ago, I ran into a colleague in the biology department whom I hadn't seen for a few years. The first thing she said to me, well, after hello, was this student's name. She was praising his amazing intellectual abilities, and I couldn't help but agree. He attributes a lot of success to the support of his family, whom he loves dearly. In his scholarship application, he writes about a time when he thought his dreams were completely shattered and that he had no pathway to his goals. But he persevered and worked hard, and it paid off. He will be attending UC Berkeley, majoring in sociology, and eventually going on to medical school to become a doctor. It is such a privilege for me to award this $1,000 scholarship to such a well-deserving student, Luis Martinez. This next one is really going to make me cry. I'm glad that I'm able to record this, because otherwise if we were in person, I would need a major tissue. Luckily, since this is being recorded, I could just Photoshop or edit a little bit if my mascara starts running. This student is exactly what the Puente program is designed for. This is a student who never thought he could make it this far and never envisioned himself in higher education. He came from a troubled past and describes his struggles in an environment full of poverty and crime. He admits that despite wanting to be a role model to his siblings, he didn't always make the best decisions in the past and didn't always have a clear focus. But just the other day, he emailed me to let me know that he was accepted to the college of his choice. And in the email, he was already talking about graduate school. Not only did he get through community college, but he became involved with programs like Puente, the Equity Office, and Men of Color, because he wanted to help and serve others. I admire this student so much. He has become a scholar, a mentor, a leader, and an amazing role model for others. I am so honored to award a $1,000 scholarship to Joey Santa Cruz. I told you I would be crying. Who will be attending UC Santa Cruz and studying to be a counselor. One day, I hope that he will return to De Anza College and be my colleague. Congratulations. And now it's time for one last scholarship. Every year, the Student Success and Retention Services Program awards a few scholarships to deserving students. This year, I have the privilege of awarding one of those scholarships to a Puente student. Okay, now my video editing skills are really going to be challenged because this one's going to make me cry too, and I'm sure it's going to make a lot of you cry as well. This student perfectly embodies the word resilience. The definition of resilience is the ability to withstand or overcome misfortune or change. From the first year I've known this student, she has had to struggle with so many different things in life, but she was able to overcome and move forward. But the biggest obstacle came in 2018. In 2018, the student's mother died unexpectedly. She was a young woman, not yet 21 years old. She had to plan her mother's funeral, raise money for it, try to mourn her mother, and still try to juggle work and school. I remember talking to her shortly after that time, wondering how I would ever keep moving forward if that happened to me, and yet she was doing it. 4 months later, her sister also died in a car accident. Still fresh from her grieving her mother's death, this student now had to plan another funeral and raise more money for her sister's funeral. If any of you have had a loved one pass away, I'm sure you can understand the magnitude of having 2 of her closest family members pass away within 4 months' time, and not even having the time or space to grieve. While I was worried for this student, I also knew that one day she would be here with us, standing here tonight, celebrating her graduation, because there was never any doubt in my mind that she would finish. Even if it took longer than she originally thought, even if it didn't look exactly the way she had first pictured it, she's here and she's made it. While I am so excited to be able to award her $1,000, I'm even more excited that we get to show her how much love we have for her and celebrate the resilience of Jamie Jurado. Congratulations. Thank you for joining us tonight. Even though we couldn't be together in person, we are together in spirit, and we have a bond that transcends time and space. Thanks for coming.